For the keys to life. When I say keys to life, you say what? Come on. When I say keys to life, you say what? All right, all right, all right. Number one, you will always have to push change. You will always have to push change. Change doesn't happen unless you make it happen. Change will not happen Tuesday if you don't push change Tuesday. Change does not happen 4 o'clock if you don't push change at what? 4 o'clock. Change is not your friend. Change does what change wants to do until you decide, hey, you know what? It becomes, let me rephrase that. It is inactive. It is something that needs to be put. You have to decide that every day I'm going to do this specific thing, and then after a while, the change has already taken place. And so therefore you have to change something else. And the more you change, the better you get. But the less you change, there you go. You get nothing. You always end up going what? Backwards. And so the question then is, do I want to do what it takes to change? And the answer is, what is it that you want from life? You want to look good, you want to dress good, you want to smell good, you want to have some things, you want to have a good relationship, you want to have some finances, whatever it is, you want to be healthy, whatever it is you want, you have to do something for it. Because you're not born perfect. You're not born the way you want to be. 9 times out of 10, you are born and you are far from what you could be. And so therefore, as you get older, you realize who you are, you're figuring out what you want out of life, and you have to decide that I'm going to go after these things. And to do that, I have to do something that is called change. You're already set up to do what's normal to you. And what's normal to you may not be beneficial to you. So therefore, when I understand that these are the goals, I have to ask myself, what are the normal habits of a person that reaches these goals? I have to say, what do I need to do to look like this? What do I need to do to have what I want to have? If that means I have to work, I have to work. If that means that I have to cook, I have to cook. If that means I have to clean, I have to clean. If that means I have to stop doing what I'm doing, I have to decide what it is in order for something different to take place. I have to, one, stop myself from doing what I used to do. And I have to start doing what? New actions, produce new words, produce new things. So all the things that I'm doing, if it's helping me, good. But if it's hurting me, it's not worth it. So then the question is, what I want in the end worth the discipline and the work it takes to get what I want? Because if it's not worth it, I'll retract. Now, here's the issue. 9 times out of 10 people say, I want this, it's worth it, but they don't do anything to get it. And so they say, well, I'm working to get it. Have you worked hard enough to get it? Are you working towards it? Or are you working against it? What you're doing, that's the management of change. And most people don't know that there's a management to change. If I'm working to do something and it looks like it's fighting against me, or it looks like it's not producing, I need to manage what I'm doing, because maybe the work that I'm doing is not specific to the goal that I'm trying to achieve. You could be working all day long doing something and it doesn't work because what you're trying to achieve needs something different. It's kind of like if you're cooking something or you're baking something, and the ingredient that you need, you won't put in. You know what you need to put in, but maybe that ingredient costs too much. You have to decide whatever it is that you want to accomplish, the price is worth it. What does that mean? It means that the time it takes to do what it is, the money it takes to do what it is, the energy, everything is worth it, and I have to choose it over what I'm used to doing. So if I'm used to watching TV, I'm gonna have to skip it. If I'm used to spending my money on something else, I'm gonna have to save it. If I'm used to talking a certain way, I'm gonna have to change how I talk. If you say, well, I don't wanna change who I am, you are changing every day either way. Who you are is moldable. So it doesn't make a difference. You can't say, hey, you know what? I don't do that. Oh, you do. You do anything that you choose to do. The question is, are you willing to change, and are you willing to change every moment, every day, to not say something, to not do something, to say something, and to do something? The question's always going to revolve every day and every moment with you. Okay, number 2, respect it. Respect it. What am I respecting? I'm respecting the thing that I've conquered, and I'm respecting the thing that could hurt me. I'm going to explain, and I'm going to explain in a testimony. For the last 6 months, maybe a year, I've been working on my blood pressure. My blood pressure rose way too high. I was having headaches. I was dizzy. There was a lot of things that were happening that shouldn't have been happening. Some things I expressed, some things I did not express. And went to the doctor, and he said, some people die, just like that. And I showed the stuff to my sister. She said, this happens. And we've had this conversation. I've expressed this to you. And so I said to myself, I don't take drugs. Me and drugs don't get along. I don't really think that you should. I think you should try the best to find a normal way or the natural way to deal with whatever you're dealing with. And so I went on this journey, if you will, to fix the problem the natural way. I said, I just need you to give me some time. Doctor was like, you got some time. I'll see you in January, or I forgot what date it was. And so I've been working on it, exercising, but I couldn't exercise because my knee was messed up. And so I had to swim, and I was like, all right, what can I eat? And I drink this, and I eat this. I'm changing my diet. I'm changing all the things, and all this changing, and working, and it wasn't working at different times, and it didn't make sense at different times. And there was times when I felt like I needed to give up. And I'm like, just call the doctor and just tell him to send me the pills. And he was like, you got to come in and send the pills. And I was like, it sounds like a trick. So I'm working on it, I get back to the doctor because he can fill out a physical. He said, all right, it's still too high. And so there's oftentimes I wanted to quit. I didn't say it to too many people. I just wanted to just say, you know what, it's over. And I spoke, and I reminded myself of me standing here saying that if you really want it, you've got to do everything possible to change. And you have to allow God to be God, and you have to work with God and accept what he wants to do. And so after a while, I started to say, God, if this is what you want me to do, that's fine. I don't want to do this, but I will accept what the doctor says when I get there. I've been working on it. I've been doing the steps. I've been working. I've been running. I've been drinking stuff I don't want to drink. All the things that I could possibly do. And when I got to the doctor's office, it was very, very normal. And so I was excited, and I was thankful to God. And for the most part, most people were wondering, like, why are you going crazy? I wasn't going crazy because all I was remembering was the fact that there were different times that I wanted to give up, and if I hadn't kept pushing forward, I'd have just took the pills and been on pills for the rest of my life. Now, I'm not saying that people don't get off pills, but my point to you is if I express something from the pulpit, I try my best every day to live it so that you can see that you can conquer it. Well, how do you get to respect it? Respect it is this simple thing. It is no longer above me, but it's beneath me. But although it's beneath me, the way I eat and the way I live now has to be a lifestyle. If it's not a lifestyle, then I don't respect it, and it will have me. What do you mean? What I'm saying to you is anything that you have conquered, anything that God has freed you from, if you if you were sick, you were lying in bed, you couldn't move, if you couldn't exercise, you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that. Anything God has freed you from, anything you work to get, if you let it go, you cannot blame God. If you do not respect it, you will lose it. And so one of the problems that we have, and I've seen in my Christian journey through majority of my life, is that we lose respect for the thing that God has allowed us to conquer. If you succeed over it, if you make a good relationship, if you lose that relationship, don't blame God. If you get a job and you lose that job, don't blame God. You gotta understand, if somebody lay hands on you and you're healed, why would you not then exercise that body? Why would you not then work on what he gave you? He gave you a job, he gave you finances. Why would you not work the finances? Why would you not work the gift? Now, the hard part is that he gave it to you, and now you have to do something with it. It's not that he gave it to you. You work to get it, yeah, you're here, but that's not the hardest part. The hardest part of anything is keeping it. You can have a relationship, easy to get a relationship. You might look up and God bless you, and all of a sudden you get somebody that you don't even think you deserve. But if you can't keep it, what difference does it make? You get a business, you get a contract. Now you have to consistently produce on a certain level, and then a certain level, and then a certain level. And every once in a while, it'll get difficult because you are at a level in which it's required something from you. If you don't act on that level, you'll lose what you have. It's like getting good grades. If you don't keep them, you lose them. It doesn't make a difference. Whatever you say, I work so hard. Keep working. Oh, I work so hard on this, and keep working. So the same thing that I didn't like to eat is the same thing that I have to eat. Same thing I didn't like to drink is the same thing I'm going to keep drinking. The exercise I don't want to do is the same exercise I'm going to keep doing. Because if I want to be the conqueror, and he says I'm more than a conqueror, then I have to keep what? Conquering. Because conquerors conquer. That's all out of all of this, you need to understand. If you're going to be a conqueror, you have to keep what? Conquering. It's as simple as that. If you don't get nothing else today, I win. And if I'm going to keep winning, I have to keep working to win. The moment you stop working, you take your foot off the gas, what happens? Car slow down. We only take our foot off the gas, we're going to turn, we're going to park. Car come, make a next. But if you're going to get somewhere, you've got to keep what? Going. Now, that doesn't mean that there is no reprieve. But if you don't respect the laws, if you don't respect the benefits, if you don't respect the love, if you don't respect the relationship, if you don't respect the issue, if you don't respect the problem, if you don't respect the thing that you have conquered, it will come back to what? Conquer you. The Bible says that when an evil spirit leaves, it comes back. And if it finds that there's nothing there, it comes back with what? More. Why? Because you didn't put anything in its what? Place. And so if you don't take off something and put what? On something, and you can't live here no more because the Holy Spirit lives here. You can't live here no more because health lives here. You can't live here no more because love lives here. You can't live no more because increase lives here. You can't live no more because investment lives here. You can't live here no more because forgiveness lives here. You can't live here no more because grace lives. See, whatever it is that you're fighting, you've got to put the opposite on and increase yourself in it. Until you don't even know what that looks like anymore. until it's a distant memory. It's past. It's old to you. And that's when you realize you respect it, because you stop giving it food. You stop giving it energy, and you gave your energy to the thing to keep. And people may think you're crazy. And I have family members who are like, you fasted for this amount of time? That's crazy. I can't do that. If it's physically, scientifically, medically, you can do it. So people are always going, and that's just an idea of somebody saying, I can't do that. You can do anything you want to do. You can achieve anything you want to achieve. People will look at you like you are crazy. Just accept it. Accept that people will look at you weird. Accept that you are not like anybody else. Accept that you are different. Just accept it and you'll be okay. Just accept it. Third thing. What you don't manage, you will apologize, defend, or make excuses for. What you don't manage, you will apologize, what you don't manage, you will apologize, defend, or make excuses for. What do I mean by that? Everything that I do in life has to be managed. Most people don't like it. It is just what it is. But if I don't, the Christian idea, the thought pattern, the spiritual idea is that now I have to apologize. Why do I have to apologize? I have to apologize because I'm failing at something. I didn't achieve what I needed to achieve. And so therefore, to my relationship, my bad, I kind of didn't keep up what I was trying to do. To my finances, now I'm not paying everything that needs to be paid. To my children, I'm not giving the love that you need or to help you in the place that you need to be helped. And to my work study or my plan of action or the things that I'm trying to do. So either I have an excuse, which has never been beneficial, or I do this thing we call defend, which is an excuse. Once I defend, I did it because, and it didn't work out because. And as long as I have one of those, I fail. Because sooner or later your boss is going to fire you, sooner or later your bills ain't going to get paid, sooner or later your relationship ain't going to work, sooner or later your clothes is going to be dirty. Like no matter what, sooner or later you'll be late too many times. So then if I evacuate the defense, if I delete the excuse, that puts me in a place that says, okay, so then what do? I must manage well. So if you're writing, write this down. Management takes patience. Hurtful thing, this thing called patience. It doesn't make a difference what you're doing. Patience is necessary. Why is patience necessary? Patience is necessary because if I can't wait and work, then I won't be able to receive what it is that I'm looking for. Even in the game, watch this. Playing the game, and you get down to like it's you, 2 people, you, 3 people. All of a sudden, you're like, where they at? You gotta get the other 2 people. Well, you lose patience. You do something sloppy, and then somebody gets you. You need something, but this money is burning a hole in your pocket. And you lose patience because you say, I did not have enough. So I might as well what? Spend it. I was going to tell a story, but she said ouch, so I'll leave her alone. Okay. If you don't have enough, it doesn't mean spend the money that you have. Pay something on it and then work to get some more money. Invest in to work on something else. Be patient and let God do what God does. My blood pressure was really, really high. I said, okay, I'm going to keep working. It doesn't sound like it's getting better. It doesn't feel like it's getting better. It seems like it's somewhat better, but I don't know where we're at. So I said, God, I'm willing to do what it is that we're going to do, but I'm not going to stop working. I'm going to stay patient, and I'm going to just move as you want me to move, and it got better. Everything that has to happen is managed through patience. Relationship, patience. Addiction, lateness, words, finances, emotions. If you ever notice people that go through any type of AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, they can count the days. Why? Because it takes what? Patience. On a spiritual side, you're trying not to be an adulterer, a fornicator, a liar, a thief, any of those things. It takes what? Patience. Why? Because you're not perfect and you're not going to win it every single day. So I have to learn how to say, not today, not this moment, be patient. It's going to work out. I have to encourage myself and push to get to the next level. If I do not do that, if I am not patient, I will look for instant gratification, and instant gratification will kill me because I'm expecting you to be everything I need you to be right now, right here. Which means that I'm not doing what I need to do so that you can be what I need you to be because I'm too busy expecting something from you and not giving something to you. And as long as you're expecting from something, then you won't do the work it takes to get something because while you're being patient, you have to what? Work. And let patience have its what? Perfect work. And those are the keys to life.